We're waiting for more people. Hurry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are Studio 90 from the Multimedia Lab. I'm Soraya.
I'm Hermione.
I'm Jason.
I'm Emma.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Giovanni.
And for our project, we had to create a documentary and infographics about an inspirational organization that helps to benefit our local community. So we chose to tackle the high school dropout epidemic.
We chose the high school dropout epidemic because it's such a glossed over issue in America, and we wish to bring it into a wider audience.
We're highlighting the organization Learn for Life because of how it targets these issues. Learn for Life has schools spread across the country that offer unique opportunities to students who may struggle in conventional public school.
And this issue is so important because not only does it affect the individuals that do drop out, but the community as a whole. That means the whole nation. We should support organizations that are making a positive change, like Learn for Life.
Each one of us also conducted an individual 6-page research paper, which we later on put into one big 12-page research paper over the courses of 3 to 4 weeks.
With the merged research paper, we used it as a guide for our documentary, and we used it for our infographics and our documentary.
We believe video is powerful in spreading awareness for an issue that may not be well known to everyone. Something about seeing a representative right in the face that makes it different from, say, a research paper or an academic journal. So, without further ado, here is Studio 90's Dropout, Change the Story.
High school. The best years of our life, right? For some, this isn't further from the truth. For one reason or another, students across the nation are dropping out in crippling numbers. For many, a typical high school environment feels painfully repetitive and unfit to be in. Factors beyond a student's control is many times a core reason for a student's dropout. The issue affects everyone in the community, and even America. But there's a vicious cycle in play that sometimes feels hopeless. But it's not hopeless. Good people across the nation are doing their part to end this epidemic. So why are high schoolers of today dropping out? With the high school dropout rate at such high numbers, knowing the causes could help improve that statistic.
The dropout rate is affected by a multitude of things. We have students who drop out because of work. We have students who drop out because of children. We have students who drop out for many reasons that may not be affected directly by school.
High school students are very complex and live through real-life issues that cause teens to make very difficult decisions at a young age. Teenagers have a lot of pressure on them regarding school, family, and society. These factors within said students' lives pull them away from graduating in a typical high school environment. The effects of high school dropouts not only affect the student, but the community, and in a way, the world. In their lifetime, a dropout will cost the taxpayer on average $292,000. This is from how much less income they make on average and potential incarceration costs. According to a statistic by Matthew Lynch, if all the dropouts from the class of 2011 had earned diplomas, the nation would benefit from an estimated $154 billion in income over their working lifetimes. Not only do dropouts statistically make far less money than graduates, they're often unemployed and lack the resources to pursue further education. Statistics like these truly show that it's everyone's problem. So what's the solution? Though the end of high school dropout epidemic may never come, the hard-working people at Learn for Life and branching school Crescent View West have made promising strides towards helping those in need of help.
Crescent View West gives students an opportunity to do schoolwork on their own time and their own schedule, which allows them to not be confined to, say, an 8 to 3 traditional Monday through Friday schedule.
Students feel like they fall through the cracks in big classrooms. And one thing that we do here at Crescent View is we communicate a lot. You don't fall through the cracks here. And we have students who say, I've never felt like I've been cared about so much at school.
Students who aren't doing well and aren't a problem will be neglected or allowed to slip away.
I would say Learn for Life is a bit better than like public school, just because you grow and it goes at your own pace, so it's up to you to like push yourself to finish the credits and to do everything on time.
Some come from, abusive households, or even, who are homeless. And the thing that we do is we still provide for them. We have food, snacks, but we also provide these backpacks with, sleeping bags. We provide sleeping bags, clothes, anything that our students need.
Learn for Life provides unique educational opportunities to those who are unable to learn at conventional public schools. These students gain the opportunity to be successful later on in life. If more programs like this existed, many people could better their lives, and even the public as a whole could improve. The high school dropout epidemic is silent. Its causes can't be tracked down to any one single factor. When a student is struggling or dropping out, it makes waves, with effects reaching across the country affecting everyone. Schools like Crescent View West and the Learn for Life program show that hope is not lost for those that are at risk to fail. So what can we do as a community to support those in need? The high school dropout epidemic, though daunting, is not a lost cause, because it's important to remember it's truly everyone's problem.
All right, thank you. That was our documentary, a shortened version of our documentary that was made over 9 to 10 weeks of shooting, filming, research, editing, etc.
As seen in the video, there are many factors that can discourage one from attending high school. Teen pregnancy is one of these factors. Research shows that 70% of the girls who get pregnant in high school end up dropping out.
And with these causes, there's an average of 1.2 million dropouts every year.
And as we saw in the video, a dropout on average will cost the taxpayer $292,000. And when multiplied by how many dropouts are in America, that number is in the 100 billions.
Learn for Life addresses these issues by offering a unique, flexible schedule for the students that attend their schools. Students only have to go to school 2 days a week, and that really helps them balance their lives between education and home responsibilities.
Learn for Life teaches differently than any other public schools here in the Fresno Unified School District. They also provide food, clothes, hygiene products for their students, and bus tokens for transportation to and from Learn for Life. We spent around 6 weeks of post-production for our documentary, which included 6 interviews, 2 hours of B-roll, and tons of hours of editing and during and after school. And our documentary, as a result, came out as a manifestation of our information.
We decided to have a representative actor in the beginning of our video to really showcase that dropouts are people too. They're people just like you and me, and we shouldn't neglect their problems. And we believed it was so important to pull that empathy out of our audience, and I think it did its job well. Another thing that's so great about the documentary format is how shareable it is. Our video was posted on the Learn for Life Facebook, and that page has thousands of followers, and it got hundreds of views and a lot of traction that it would not have gotten otherwise. And that's how we know that it's making a positive change in our community. And though it's easy to say that making a video like this is just pointing and shooting a camera, it's a lot more than that. There's a lot of time, effort, and research that went into this.
We also make infographics, and these infographics are to be displayed at first glance, convey the most important information. And our infographics are made from scratch. We end up taking about 2.5 months to make them. And for my infograph, I decided to communicate it through using imagery with big fonts and big numbers. And if you think about it, the dropout rates affect about 20% of the US population. You might think that's only a small portion of the United States, so why worry so much about it? Well, that is because that 20% is millions of people. Those millions of people affect about 80% of a state's population in some way or somehow.
Students are subject to situations outside of their control, not only at home but also at school. Using colors that pop out from the background, my infograph shows that 32% of students drop out for what some may see as a minor reason, like not keeping up with schoolwork.
For my infograph, I wanted to keep the infographic separate from the background, so I use these boxes. They cover how Learn for Life allows students to go at their own pace. They use one-on-one learning so teachers can give each student their full attention. And Learn for Life comes at no cost to the students, which is really helpful to those who are financially struggling.
As you know, there are many things that can impede one from reaching their full educational potential. And these things can't always be seen coming or be prepared for.
There are many causes as to why a student will drop out, and it not only affects the student, but it also affects the community.
In conclusion, the high school dropout is huge. It's a massive problem that may not have an end. But Learn for Life is making progress to what truly is everyone's problem. Thank you. Are there any questions?
So you did say that high school dropouts tend to cost taxpayers money, and I was interested in knowing why that is.
Well, it's not like they literally take their money, but it's just in relative to, say, the most average American citizen. So in comparison to how much less income they make on average, because you need a high school diploma to get a job usually, or potential criminality rates, which are higher in the dropout community, that is how the money is taken from the taxpayer by criminality rates and lack of funds.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys did a great job, so well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. We know for a fact that treating the homeless is far less than the cost of homeless. Okay, and I see this as the same. This correlates with that. Why do you think society is so slow to invest in programs like this that can avoid huge amounts of cost to the taxpayer?
So the question is, why are we so slow to address these issues? I believe we are, as a community, are so slow to address these issues just because a lot of us are focused on our own interests, and I think this documentary actually does its job. It brings awareness to the people, and I think more people, after seeing this documentary, will actually make a change, or at least have more awareness of this issue. So I think just a lack of awareness and how much it affects people is really what makes the difference.
Yeah, last question. Did you do any correlation between students who drop out of high school and students who have dropped out of high school that attend college that drop out of college? Did I make that clear?
Yeah. So a college dropout versus a high school dropout?
A college dropout who dropped out of high school. In other words, there's plenty of cases where kids have dropped out of high school because it's just not for them, they're not stimulated, whatever. But they go on to college, right? And then possibly drop out of college, right? Did you do it? Did you find any studies that showed that comparison?
Well, we have the main correlation we have there is just simple differences between the qualifications you have versus income. So if you have a college graduate degree, you're going to make almost 2 times more than someone who drops out of high school. So if someone drops out of high school and college, it could end up being about the same as someone who drops just out of high school. Having that piece of paper, as bad as it seems to some people, that's what's important to a lot of employers. Are there any other questions?
I had a question. You said that you put this on the Learn for Life website. Have you found any other places to put your documentary?
Well, it's currently on Vimeo and YouTube, but as of other places to promote it, no. But that Learn for Life page did get a lot of traction, so I think that's good. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much.
Guys, good job.
All right, so here we go. First of all, I want to congratulate all of our finalists. They did a wonderful job, and I know Dr. Hansen and I, good job, Kiki. Dr. Hansen and I had a great couple of days working with our students on their presentations, and they all did a fantastic job, all 14 of our nominees. All right, if we're ready, we're going to start with third place, and again, I want to thank our judges for being here tonight. Let's thank them. I want you to know they had an extremely tough decision, and I'm really glad it was them and not me. All right, we're going to start with third place. Deborah Ninkaville is going to let us know who got third.
It was, as you said, a very difficult choice. It's the Dropout story. Thank you.
Multimedia. We'll have a Kodak moment here for folks who want to take pictures. Turn around, guys. Smile. Your big showcase. Smile. Thank you, guys. Good job. All right, and Dr. Minkler is going to let us know who got second place.
Should be opening the envelope. Second place, Just Breathe, creating an environment to seek help.